Hi there, my name is Crescenda, and I went on NOLA trip last year, 2009, and I had an opportunity to see God work in an amazing way with prayer, which is kind of the theme of my life anyway, so it was awesome to be able to see it. Vacation Bible School was where I was at every day, and I kept hearing a lot of the people talk about the park right across the street from the church, and wanting to know, I wish there could be playgrounds there, I wish we could have soccer games or softball games, or I wish there could be park benches. And people just kept talking, we need to talk to the city about this, we need to talk to the church about this, we could and I finally said to Danny, she was leading the Vacation Bible School, like the last day, I said, you know, people keep talking about this, and I'm just really thinking we should go there and pray. They seem so excited about it that let's just go and pray. So Danny's like, great, you want to lead that? And I was like, and so got there and said to the people, you know, I hear you crying out, literally crying out, so impassioned for the people of Franklin Avenue Baptist Church and New Orleans people. And I said, let's take that cry to God. Let's go over there. Let's walk around the park. Let's just talk to God about what we wanted. And I was a little scared because I didn't know people on the trip, if they even really believed in God or where they were with their prayer life. And so I was taking a step of faith, even saying something. So we all travel over there, and I thought, okay, I don't know what people are going to do. They're going to be like just standing there. And I just told them, walk wherever you want to walk and talk to God. And there was a guy mowing the part of the park, and people went and walked every square footage of that place. I was blown away. I would stop and look and just watch God's people literally marching in the steps of where kids marched and people of New Orleans go and play, pleading for God to do something. So when we got back around, we got in a huge circle, and I said, what did you see when you asked God? What did you envision? What did God show you? And people, I didn't know too, again, I was like, people are going to think I'm crazy for asking. People were shouting out things they saw, specific colors of swing sets or teeter-totters or water. Because of the hurricane, we didn't want people afraid of water. We wanted them to embrace. And it was so exciting that at the end, we just got to pray and thank God, and even again, just shout out our prayers to God, literally out loud, of what we wanted to see. And I didn't really think much of it. My faith was stirred by seeing these people just take a step of faith and praying out loud, because I guarantee for some of them it was the first. And probably 6 months later, I got an email from Danny of see what God did, and here's a picture of the park. And some people had gone down for the Sugar Bowl and went by and snapped it, and there is equipment there. It is amazing. As much as I wanted to believe that God was hearing our prayers, you know, sometimes you wonder, and here it is, in color, in a photo that we're going to be able to get to see when we come down this summer, and I'm so excited.
Me, last year, my trip to New Orleans was absolutely life-changing. It truly was. It came to me at the end of what seemed to be the worst year of my life. And through my trip to New Orleans, God revealed my spiritual gift, just an encourager. Over and over, repeatedly times. God kept putting people in front of me that were sitting by themselves when they shouldn't have been sitting by themselves, looking like they were downtrodden, looking like they needed a friend. And so he said, go and talk to them. And so I did. And over and over again, it happened. And I come back and I tell my friends, I'm like, hey friends, guess what? Like, my spiritual gift is that of encouragement. And they're like, yeah, we already knew that. I'm like, well, that would have been great if you could have told me that. That would have been awesome all over again.
Tell me a little bit about the day that you got to encourage somebody from New Orleans who happened upon your job site and maybe had some sticky fingers.
Well, we were working, and we were building a house, and this young kid, I want to say he's probably like 7, maybe 10, came by, and we kind of looked at him, we kind of saw him, we said hi to him, and ended up he stole several of our Go Groups backpacks with their cameras, their iPods, and all of these things, and took them. And so we, did what we should have done, and we called the police come, and all that good stuff. And about 2 hours later, they show up with this kid in the back of their car, and they have the stuff. So we're like, wow, that's totally awesome, right? And the boys whose stuff it was, they go and they talk to the guy, and they're looking at this kid, and I'm standing on this house, and I'm looking over the scene, and all of these grown men are looking down on this child. And so God immediately grabbed my heart and said, go and talk to that child. And so I jumped down off the house, and I ran up to him, and I just asked him, I'm like, hey, can I pray for you? And it was a prayer unlike I'd ever done for anyone at that point in my life. And I simply grabbed him by both sides of his head and told him things that I don't think I've ever told another person. That he was loved, that he was valued, that he was more important than anything that he had took, and that most of all, he was forgiven.
My New Orleans story kind of starts back in January of 2009. 3 weeks after I started coming to Crossroads, they announced that the trip was going to happen. And I kind of had always had this pull to go down there, but never really had a way to get down. So 3 weeks after coming to Crossroads, knowing not a single soul, I signed up to go on the trip. And it turned out to be one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. The months leading up to the trip, I grew closer to God than I ever dreamed was possible. And on the trip, I made some of the most amazing friendships that could have ever dreamed of. And I ended up getting baptized at the end of the trip. It was probably the most serene moment, the most free moment I've ever had in my life. And it certainly would not have happened had it not been for that New Orleans trip.